On July 22nd in 2025, GloRilla, the breakout star of the hip-hop world, was arrested in Forsyth County, Georgia for drug possession. This shocking news spread quickly, leaving fans and the public in disbelief. GloRilla, whose real name is Gloria Hallelujah Woods, is best known for hits like FNF and Tomorrow, but now she finds herself at the center of a legal battle that could affect her career and reputation. So, what exactly happened? GloRilla, whose real name is Gloria Hallelujah Woods, was born on July 28, 1999 in Memphis, Tennessee. She grew up in a city known for its rich musical history, and from a young age, GloRilla was surrounded by music. Hip-hop culture, particularly the music of Memphis rap, had a profound influence on her, which led her to pursue a career in the genre. GloRilla began her music career at the age of 19, when she started recording and releasing tracks on social media platforms like Instagram and SoundCloud. She gained early attention for her gritty, raw lyricism and authentic style, which resonated with fans. Her music, often addressing themes of empowerment, street life, and female independence, quickly attracted a growing following. Her breakthrough came with the release of her single FNF, short for Let's Go Biatch, which quickly went viral in 2022. The song's success helped her sign a record deal and solidified her place in the hip-hop scene. GloRilla's unique voice and bold personality made her stand out from the crowd of emerging artists, and she began to collaborate with major figures in the industry. Soon after, GloRilla released a series of successful singles like Tomorrow and Nut Quick, which further showcased her talent and versatility as an artist. As her popularity grew, she started making appearances at major music festivals and award shows, securing her place as one of the fastest rising stars in the hip-hop industry. GloRilla's rise to fame wasn't just about her music, though. She became a role model for many young women in the hip-hop scene, known for her authenticity, fearlessness, and empowerment message. Her confidence and strength, both in her music and personal life, made her a powerful figure for fans, particularly those who related to her raw and real lyrics. As GloRilla's career continued to rise, she was quickly becoming one of the most promising young talents in the hip-hop scene. But with fame also came pressure, and the recent legal troubles she faces could potentially impact her career moving forward. Despite this, her supporters believe she'll rise above the situation and continue to inspire fans with her music and message of empowerment. Her future in the industry depends on how she handles the current situation. If she is able to clear her name and move past the controversy, there's little doubt that GloRilla's place in hip-hop will remain secure. She has a unique voice, a growing fan base, and a bright future ahead of her in the industry, regardless of the obstacles she may face. It all began when authorities responded to a burglary investigation at a property in Forsyth County, Georgia. GloRilla's address, which had been identified as the location of the break-in, was raided by police after suspicious activity was reported. At first, law enforcement believed they were dealing with a typical property crime, but things quickly took a turn. When police arrived at the scene, they noticed a strong odor of drugs coming from the residence. This led them to believe that the property could be involved in illegal activity. Based on this evidence, authorities decided to search the house, which eventually led to the discovery of illegal substances. At this point, the situation escalated from a burglary investigation to a drug possession case. GloRilla, however, was not at home when the search took place. The police didn't find her at the scene, and no one was able to immediately provide any evidence tying her to the drugs. This raised further questions about whether she was knowingly involved in the illegal activities or if it was a setup. Despite the ambiguity, the police proceeded with drug possession charges based on the evidence found during the raid. Upon hearing about the raid, GloRilla voluntarily turned herself in to the authorities. She made the decision to face the situation head-on, and soon after she was released on bail after posting a bond of $22 city dollars. While GloRilla maintained that she was innocent and had no involvement with the drugs found at her home, the incident became an overnight media storm. News outlets and social media platforms quickly picked up on the story, and discussions began to surface about what this could mean for her career and public image. After GloRilla's arrest, the details surrounding the investigation and the evidence collected by the police have been the subject of intense scrutiny. While the public has had varying opinions about the case, what remains clear is that the investigation was thorough and methodical. Authorities took careful steps to ensure they had sufficient evidence to proceed with the charges. The police initially responded to a burglary report, which led them to GloRilla's home. When they arrived at the scene, they noticed a strong odor of drugs, prompting them to apply for a search warrant. It was during this search that they uncovered what they believed to be illegal substances. The substances found were reportedly hidden in various places around the property, which raised questions about GloRilla's potential involvement in the crime. The authorities found several packages of what appeared to be marijuana, as well as other controlled substances hidden in the house. Some reports mention that the drugs were tucked away in drawers under furniture and in storage spaces. These findings led the police to charge GloRilla with drug possession, although they did not find her at the scene at the time of the raid. While there was no direct evidence that GloRilla was personally involved in the distribution or trafficking of drugs, the presence of illegal substances in her home raised serious questions. The fact that the drugs were hidden suggests that someone had been trying to conceal their activities, and authorities are now trying to determine whether GloRilla was actively involved or if she was unaware of the drugs' presence. In a case like this, the legal team representing GloRilla will likely focus on the lack of direct evidence linking her to the drugs. They will likely argue that no drugs were found directly in her possession and no proof exists that she was involved in the criminal activity at the house. The defense might also suggest that GloRilla was unaware of the drugs, possibly because they were hidden by someone else in her home. As GloRilla's case progresses, it will inevitably lead to a long legal battle. Given the high-profile nature of her arrest, this case will be closely monitored by the media, and the public eye will be on her every step of the way. The rapper's legal team is expected to work tirelessly to ensure that her rights are protected and that the charges against her are thoroughly examined. The initial step in the legal process will be the pre-trial motions. GloRilla's lawyers will likely file motions to suppress evidence or request that some of the charges be dismissed. These motions could delay the trial or potentially lead to a reduction in the charges if successful. The defense team is likely to argue that the search was conducted improperly, which would weaken the prosecution's case. If the case does go to trial, it will be a high-profile event with both sides presenting their arguments to the court. The prosecution will attempt to show that GloRilla had knowledge of the drugs in her house and that she actively participated in illegal activities. The defense, on the other hand, will likely argue that there is no direct evidence linking her to the crime and that she may have been unaware of the drugs being present in her home. A key element of the defense could be to prove that the drugs were planted by someone else or that GloRilla was unaware of their presence. If the defense can successfully demonstrate that the search was not conducted according to proper procedures, or that the evidence was mishandled, the charges could be dropped or the case could be dismissed altogether. If GloRilla is convicted, the penalties could range from prison time to fines. Depending on the severity of the charges and the outcome of the trial, she could face significant legal consequences. However, if the case is dismissed or she is found not guilty, she will likely face a long road to recovery. Her career could be damaged, but many believe that her loyal fans and her talent will allow her to recover and continue making music. Public perception plays a major role in the success or failure of an artist, especially in the world of hip-hop, where authenticity and image are often everything. GloRilla has built her brand on being authentic, raw, and relatable to her fans. But with the arrest looming large, some fans are beginning to question whether she can maintain that reputation. Some fans remain faithful to GloRilla, asserting that this is just a misunderstanding or a wrongful accusation. Others, however, are not so sure. The coming weeks will reveal whether she can weather the storm and restore her public image, or whether the incident will have lasting effects on her career. The case is far from over, and GloRilla's future in the hip-hop industry depends heavily on the outcome of this legal battle. Her ability to navigate this crisis and handle the legal and public scrutiny will determine whether she can bounce back stronger or whether this incident will derail her career for good. Fans, the media, and the industry will be watching closely as the case progresses. Will GloRilla be able to clear her name and continue her rise in the music industry? Or will the setback prove to be too much for her to overcome? Only time will tell.